Hey guys, I wanted to make a video. Um, Kind of a shitty location right now to make this, but I I just feel like there's things I want to say, and um, I had to just kind of get away and um, try to find a spot of privacy where I can make a video like this. I have to talk very quiet for this video. Sorry, but it is what it is. Um, so I guess I want to address sort of like the male loneliness epidemic. It's really kind of a beaten horse right now, but um I guess I want to talk about the notion of like, if your life is like cooked in a way and you have no prospects of like dating or getting with someone, and like it's just cooked, okay? That's what I want to talk about. And um and in what people can do in that situation when they feel like, no one really gives a fuck about them, and um it's like people, for better or worse, could just forget about you. And I guess I want to try to describe, like, like a low point for people. And I think a lot of people go through it. I think a lot of people feel like they're invisible in a lot of ways. A lot of people are just completely, pretty much like unselectable in terms of like mating and, finding a partner. And a lot of people feel like they're very, just someone who's not fit for a relationship. And um, a lot of people experience rejection, and that whole thing of just like relationships and um, sort of a doomer mentality around them, and and the thing is like there's some serious things to, I guess, take account of, some extreme possibilities of like, you may not end up with someone if, for a lifetime. And and it's like how, a lot of people, that crosses their head, I mean, you can't really know everything, but the idea of like, okay, you might be alone for a lifetime. You might not get to go through a lot of the things that people do with just like marriage, hooking up, and all this cultural stuff, and like partnership and all of that. You might have to go it alone, and you might not have anyone there for you. Um, I mean, it's kind of an extreme thing. You can you can definitely try to find examples of people who are in your life that you can maybe talk to and stuff, but I think we all know what I'm trying to get across here. And so it's like, what then, can be made of, your life, with what's left, if uh if you have no prospects for a romantic relationship, and if you might have to come to terms with that. It just might not be for you. It might not happen. And um, trying to accept that, um, and it's I really think there's things people can do when they don't have sort of the responsibilities of taking care of a family and stuff. Um, I do think people can take on missions that they otherwise wouldn't have if that's the case. Um, and there's cases of heroism, like heroes out there who, um, people who who weren't who sort of had the freedom to do things because they weren't really tied to that responsibility of a family. And so I believe people can still do important things even if they don't have a relationship. And in a weird way too, like, I still believe that things are worth pursuing even if you don't really like get to see the end result of the project. And that's one thing I think a lot of people have sort of lost sight of, is the idea of working towards something that 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 might be, you might the progress might wash away like a sandcastle. But it's that iterative process of building and building and building to where maybe eventually you build some sort of fortification against the waves, and there's just minor adaptations like that are very worthwhile and thinking about. And those minor adaptations that could happen to our life, like, I think, um the idea of, like, for me right now, I've lost weight in the past, but I have to still lose more weight. You might not be able to tell from my face, but I know I can lose more weight. It's unhealthy. Like, I kind of have a gut going, and I do a carnivore diet, so it's like, and I've been doing one for years, but I know that, it's not the best. Like, I from gaining weight in the past, I still have to lose weight, and all sorts of complications from just health. And I think for me, gaining weight and losing weight so many times, it actually made it a lot more difficult for me to lose weight this time. So I can't just go on a fast, because it's like every little thing is connected now in my body. And um, I get that immediate feedback whenever I make any sort of mistakes. So if I so I eat every day now, and sort of I try to make micro adjustments. And but yeah, that notion of like evolution, I still really believe in it. And it's like, some problems aren't immediately solvable, but it's still worth trying to solve them, you know. And and sometimes you get a piece of the problem solved, like a little piece of it solved. And that's what's those little pieces are what makes things, it's like the air you breathe, man. You need that. It's seriously important. Because things are tough enough as they are. Um, so right now, I think a lot of relationships are pretty much like cooked. A lot of societal relationships are cooked. Um, I think it's probably going to take generations to fix, and that's given, if humanity tried to fix things, which they won't. So, um, yeah, relationships are cooked. There's a there's a um, there's a culture of dishonesty, and just people live lies. And you look at Nazi Germany, and everyone was living a lie within Nazi Germany, and no one was really that different. It's like you'd have to find such an an exception, like like Schindler. There's some exceptions out there, and and arguably, even if you find the one in your life, it doesn't mean they are the exception. Okay, like, um, and that's the thing that I think I've started to realize is that, you can fall in love with someone, but it doesn't make them infallible to sort of corruption or to like folly, to to peril, to living a lie, and where that leads them. And um that's a that's kind of quite the thing to realize, is that you can fall in love with someone who strays profoundly in their life. And a lot of times it's like you just watch at a distance. And um and it's one of those things, like, it's not immediately solvable. You can care about that person, you can love them and all this stuff, but it's like, um people are often on a trajectory, and it's very difficult for them to really change, to change that trajectory. And um it's it's a thing where um you can't put all the blame on other people at a certain point. Like, if only they were perfect, if only they appealed to all my whimsical wants and demands, and they just immediately catered to me perfectly in every whim. It's like, that's not realistic. It's not. I don't think we really want that, honestly. I think people are have sort of an unrealistic programming from, like, I don't know what. It's just unrealistic. But the um and then on the other hand, it's like, you can kind of view it both ways, in that, like, putting self blame, and it's like, I think that is the more important thing. um it's also kind of unrealistic, but um excuse me, I think that's also another sort of impossible goal that is worth trying to strive towards. And yeah, it's yeah, yeah. So, there's still important things people can do given, say, certain disabilities or whatever, like, people can still be able to do things that, despite conditions. And I mean, there's always those exceptional people that, despite their circumstances, they still try to achieve something great. And you know um so I think, in some sense, it's like, no matter what, you gotta try to find some northern star in your life to try to strive towards. And in truth, and just trying to stay in tune with things, to not just go in the, like, blow in the wind with everyone else. And I so I guess I just want to say that it's like, you know even through really terrible prospects, you're not gonna have a partner in life. You're not gonna whatever. um it's still important to try to find something, man, to try to do good in the world. And to just I don't know. The thing is like I think a lot of people these days they settle. A lot of people are just living a lie in today's world, and you don't want to do that. You don't like. I don't care if you get a relationship out of it. I don't care if you get a job out of it. I don't care if you get money out of it. I don't care. You know, you don't want to sell out in this world. Um, and there's gonna be so many opportunities that you let pass by you because of that, and that's good actually, because um, you don't want to take every opportunity. You don't want to be that guy that fights other people for a scrap of bread, and just fighting over scraps. And you want to live for integrity and character and mortal some sort of fortitude with yourself, to sort of strive for a quality of behavior that, and to not be like everyone else, and that's like Viktor Frankl in Man's Search for Meaning, and a lot of people, they're just gonna do people things. A lot of their people are gonna take advantage of situations. They're gonna commit atrocious things given the opportunity, but you don't want to do that, because your judgment it's more important than what other people do to you. The actions of other people. Your own judgment is more important. Whether you are a good person, whether you're cool with yourself at the end of the day, that's important. Did you subsume to violence like everyone else? Did you steal? Did you rob? Did you throw someone under the bus for some sort of short-term advantage? How did you live your life? Because that is an important part of living, is how you live. And if how you live is like just complete barbarism and gluttony, is that really living? Or or are you a person who, or want to be a person who wants to fight against that in some sense, or to try to break the mold, to break the pattern, to escape the pattern, to not be like the abusers, to not be like the intimidators, to not be like the people that have caused you trauma. We just need good people. And it sucks because I see people who are good people, and they kill, some good people like kill themselves. And it sucks because we need good people, and that's it. And I understand, because it's like, good people, I think they really feel things, and they really understand things, and they understand the difficulties, and they see how dark things are. They don't blind themselves to it, and they don't become a part of it. And I think people see the corruption in the world, and it just makes them, I don't know, like, just lose faith in other people, like, if there's even other good people out there. But there are, it can be really hard to find them sometimes. Sometimes you might not think they exist, but they do. And it's just really hard to find them sometimes. Um and you know, even if there aren't good people, you have to try to be that good person. And I think of like Noah and the flood. It might be some made up story, whatever, but there's a moral to that. He was like one of the last good people left on the planet, and he had to he tried to warn everyone. He tried to get everyone to change, but no one would listen to him. And then the floods came, and everyone got toppled over, and except him. And he went on to live in a completely different world after that. And it's like, what's important is your story to take on the story of your life, and it's like things are gonna be fucking tough, man. They're gonna be really fucking hard, and your pain's gonna be real. And it's taking it on and going through those moments that just suck, and feeling your emotions, feeling the pain, feeling everything, and that's the full experience. A lot of people, they take drugs so they can feel good. People try to keep themselves feeling good. They keep themselves boosted with their serotonin and dopamine. They try to keep themselves high. But people never want to come down. People never want to go through the come down, which is the necessary part of any drug experience. It's like the hangover. If you really sat with your hangover, and you really thought about it, you're pretty much like, you're gonna question why you even drink to begin with. Why you do that to yourself. You're probably gonna want to just get sober. If you don't take the meds, or like eat the bread and take the aspirin to numb the pain, if you sit there with it and don't run from it, it's gonna fucking suck. And you're gonna realize, that's what you're doing to yourself. And a lot of people don't want to do that. They want to just keep getting high. They don't want to sit with a come down. They don't want to come down. They don't want to feel the things after the fact, the emotions, the sober reflection, the sort of sitting in the sentimental, just I don't know, feelings and all of that, and the just sobering thoughts, and there's times where my imagination, whatever it is, it just goes wild. And there's times where I can't even listen to music. I just have to sit with nothing, and I just think and think and think. And I think about other people. I think about entire scenarios in my mind, and they just play out, and some of it is not far from reality, and those are the things that I think people have to learn to face, is like the things that our mind is trying to show us. And it's that I think that's one of the important parts of the come down, and it's like everyone wants to feel pleasure, but no one wants to feel those things, to learn those lessons in the dark about yourself or other people, and to face dark things. And like I love the come down now. Like I just told someone the other day, like I actually kind of love feeling like shit, because it's like it can reorientate you to what fucking matters. You know, people feel things, and if you're not feeling those things, you're just gonna get disconnected from other people. Um, so I think I want to end the video there. There's a lot more I want to say, but I think that's important enough to just end it there, to just leave the message there. And yeah, so take some time, take a break, man. Just take a break from shit. I'm not telling you to fucking meditate. I just want to say, just sit down, turn everything off. Maybe when you wake up, maybe when you go to bed, give yourself some time, turn the phone off. And you don't even have to expect anything, but just think. Just think about the things you fucking want to think about for a little bit, and see where your mind takes you, and just learn to endure some shit. Like honestly, there's been so many times, like I I really don't want to say this, but I feel like I could have killed myself, like, I don't know, 10 times over. I'll just say a very conservative number, not some high ass number. You know, I could have killed myself 10 times over by now. And it's like sitting with those thoughts, and like, and recognizing that, like, holy shit, like, this is intense stuff, you know. And I think the more you sit with those kinds of experiences, the more, like, comfortable you get with, you recognize them when they come around again, and you just get used, you kind of get used to it, and it's like, okay, this is gonna suck for a little bit, and you just learn to sit through it, and to just face it, and let it'll pass, you know. And there's really tough things to think about sometimes, like mortality, you know, other people and their mortality, and physical sensations. And it's like, if you face those things and give them attention, you know, those things are crying out to you to give them attention, the very tough things. And, you know, it might not get better right away, but you have to really fixate on things sometimes, and really, sometimes you have to change your entire everything, your entire direction, and just dedicate yourself to those problems that are signaling themselves to you, and just start working away on it. And it's like, it's probably going to be a fucking nightmare, honestly, for most of you who watch this. If you guys actually watch this, it's going to be a fucking nightmare if you actually do this. A lot of people are just going to want to run away. But, you know, the more you can try to do that, it's going to build like a courage in yourself to face difficult shit. And that's it. I don't know. I think it matures you. It matures you. I don't want to say too much. I think I'll just try to leave it at that. If you guys have any questions, I'll definitely try to make more videos in the future. But I just wanted to say a bunch of things and just put it out there. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, everybody. Peace.